You're world famous.
For black hole, not for rock concert.
On this day in 1993, Rudy was released. This inspiring sports drama follows Rudy Rudiger, a determined young man who dreams of playing football at the University of Notre Dame despite multiple obstacles. With its uplifting message and memorable moments, Rudy has become a beloved classic, celebrating the idea that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. What's your favorite biopic? Let us know in the comments.
Number 10. Rudy. Rudy Rudiger didn't have the stellar grades, money, or athleticism expected of prospective Notre Dame football players. But he did have a big dream and the willpower to achieve it. Considering all the dreamer lacked, many thought his elaborate plan to earn good grades, make money, and train to be a worthy player was highly unrealistic. Despite doubts, multiple rejections, and many other challenges along the way, Rudy did everything he could to achieve his goal. His persistence paid off, as he was not only eventually accepted by the university, but also took to the football field. Rudy wound up winning a game in epic fashion, a powerful testament to the possibilities of triumphing against all odds. Number 9. The Theory of Everything. Recounting the life of Stephen Hawking, this film tells the story of the brilliant physicist. It was adapted from a memoir written by his wife Jane, who details their romance, his ALS diagnosis, and his exemplary scientific achievements. As Stephen builds a groundbreaking theory about black holes and radiation emission, his condition worsens, leading to struggles for both him and his spouse.
Like the children camping.
It'd be too difficult to manage, Stephen.
Overcoming grim obstacles, Stephen continued to carry out and stand by his work. And even though he and Jane divorced amid hardship, the two remained close friends. While the movie takes liberties in its presentation, it presents admirable lessons about perseverance and the importance of leaning on those rooting for you.
Look what we made.
Number 8. Remember the Titans. Based on the true story of a high school football team, the film is set in the 1970s, a time that saw attempts to integrate a racially divided society. Black head coach Herman Boone is tasked with leading a blended team of players. The merging of the formerly segregated students was initially met with racial tensions and stark competitiveness.
Football is about controlling that anger, harnessing that aggression into a team effort.
But with speeches on unity, team-building excursions, and time to learn about one another, the team came together. After a victory, tragedy later struck when an accident severely injured one of the captains, adding to the adversity the players routinely faced.
How's he doing? Not too good.
But the Titans went on to prove their comradeship on and off the football field, exemplifying the unified power of standing against stigmas and injustices. Number 7. Erin Brockovich. Detailing the story of a resolute legal clerk, the biographical drama portrays Erin Brockovich's fight against corporate irresponsibility and selfishness. As an environmental activist and consumer advocate, Brockovich took it upon herself to investigate suspicious activity of the Pacific Gas and Electric Company.
Incriminating records have a way of disappearing when people smell trouble.
I'll remember that.
She found that the company was contaminating local water, so she began building a case fraught with challenges. Being a woman in a male-dominated field and lacking the law education of her peers, Brockovich struggled to gain the respect she deserved.
I'm just a guy with a small private firm.
Who happens to know they poisoned people and lied about it.
But eventually, her determination resulted in her case seeing success, with corporate consequences imposed. Brockovich's resilience is an inspiring example of advocating for what's right, regardless of barriers standing in the way.
So before you come back here with another lame-ass offer, I want you to think real hard about what your spine is worth, Mr. Walker.
Number 6. 42. As the first black Major League Baseball player of the modern era, Jackie Robinson endured substantial adversity. After earning his spot on the Brooklyn Dodgers, the talented first baseman was the target of unwarranted criticism, racial slurs, relentless taunting, and tremendous pressure. Rising above it all, Jackie consistently took to the field and performed. Not to mention, he was the key player whose homer clinched the pennant for the Dodgers. Jackie also connected with his teammates along the way, especially Pee Wee Reese, who notably showed support during a hateful display against opponents.
Maybe tomorrow we'll all wear 42. That way they won't tell us apart.
While aggression and revenge would have been understandable reactions, Robinson seldom wavered when it came to taking the high road and standing proud and tall.
And here comes the pitch.
Number 5. Coach Carter. Ken Carter had a long, trying road ahead of him when he became the coach of a high school basketball team.
Starting today, you will play like winners, act like winners, and most importantly, you will be winners.
Focusing on the players' lack of respect and unimpressive performances in the classroom, the new coach took a different approach to making his team better students, players, and people. Team members weren't initially fond of Carter's disciplinary tactics and high standards, but they eventually understood his purpose and grew to appreciate their leader.
Do you want to be on this team? Because you're about 6 words from getting kicked off and kicked off the goddamn bus.
Though the team's season ended with a quarterfinal loss, Coach Carter left his players with a valuable life lesson that winning a basketball game is nothing compared to achieving community togetherness, growth outside of a sport, and the ever-elusive victory within.
But you men played like champions. You never gave up.
Number 4. Freedom Writers. With a classroom full of at-risk students experiencing eviction, abuse, violence, and death, English teacher Erin Gruel saw an opportunity to help. In an attempt to educate and better her students, Erin dedicated her own time, money, and effort to providing her class with diaries through which they could express their struggles and feelings.
You have to write every day. Keep a pen nearby whenever you feel the inspiration.
The determined teacher's involved methods were criticized by fellow educators and her husband, but she stood firm in her belief that it was her duty to give her kids meaningful outlets.
Finally realized what I'm supposed to be doing, and I love it.
Inspired by their accounts, Erin compiled the diary entries into a book. Thanks to her hard work and commitment, many of the students became first-generation college attendees who were granted the tools to pursue brighter futures for themselves.
We're going to be together junior and senior year.
Number 3. Soul Surfer. Based on an autobiography by Bethany Hamilton, the film portrays the story of a talented young surfer who suffered a life-altering blow. A shark attack left Bethany without an arm, making the continuation of her sport seemingly impossible.
I'm gonna be okay.
I know.
But with time and resilience, she underwent a journey of self-discovery and got back on her board. She leaned on her loved ones while training to compete again and demonstrated how it is indeed possible to conquer life's hardest tests.
Hamilton drops into a nice-looking wave.
Even though Bethany lost a competition after a remarkable showing, she explained she wouldn't change what happened to her because she is now able to touch more people than she ever could before. Number 2. On the Basis of Sex. The fight for women's rights has raged on for over a century. Gender discrimination is nothing new, but it was especially prevalent in the 1950s, a time that saw Ruth Bader Ginsburg attend Harvard Law School. This biographical drama follows Ginsburg as she carves her path in a male-dominated field.
Is that an answer, Mrs. Ginsburg, or a filibuster?
She graduated atop her class, but struggled to find employment as a female lawyer. Despite ignorance and stigmas plaguing her uphill battle, she worked on a groundbreaking case and vehemently advocated for gender equality.
There's nothing that women are inherently better at than men, nor vice versa.
After proving her worth in the legal world and significantly contributing to actions around sex-based laws, Ginsburg was appointed to the Supreme Court. Her legacy serves as a reminder that effecting change requires passion, mobilization, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
We did it.
before we unveil our top pick. Here are some honorable mentions. Lone Survivor. Courageous SEAL team takes on life-or-death mission to find a Taliban leader. The Pursuit of Happiness. Single father shows son the value of hard work and perseverance.
What's the fastest animal in the world?
Jackrabbit.
Hotel Rwanda. Displays of selflessness amidst rising tensions, corruption, and genocide.
Mr. Manager, I just want to thank you.
Of course, Steve.
Constance!
We Are Marshall. Football team rebuilds after an unthinkable tragedy.
From this moment on is how you will be remembered.
The Miracle Season. After captain's passing, team grapples with grief in pursuit of victory.
From the looks of it, a lot of you had a connection with our beloved captain, number 9, Caroline Found.
Number 1, Schindler's List. Telling the true tale of a German industrialist during the Holocaust, this historical drama is as emotional as it is inspiring. Having witnessed the persecution of Jews in Poland, factory owner Oskar Schindler hired members of the Jewish business community.
God bless you, sir. All right. You're a good man.
When conditions worsened and Nazi forces transported some of his workers to Auschwitz, Schindler used revenue to bribe the commandant in exchange for their release.
You could make things easier for me. I'd be grateful.
Though his business was originally driven by profit motive, the businessman ended up using his factory as a way to save countless lives. An example of altruism and fortitude, Schindler's actions will forever encompass the timeless lesson that there is always a choice to be good and do good, even during incredibly dark circumstances.
I could have got more.
Oscar, there are 1,100 people who are alive because of you. Look at them.
If I'd made more money. I threw away so much money. You have no idea. If I just...
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.